Hello students, hope all of you are fine. Welcome to social science class. Today I am going to revise a chapter of geography, settlement, transportation and communication. I have sent two tutorials of this chapter you must have seen, and today I am only going to revise this chapter. Now first is, let's begin with what is settlement. Settlement is a place where people built their homes. It can be permanent and temporary. Now, what is permanent settlement? In permanent settlement, people live permanently. For example, we people, we live permanently in our homes. And next is temporary settlement. In temporary settlement, people do not live permanently. They move from one place to another. For example, students, you have noticed banjaras on the roadside selling different kinds of goods, and they mostly live in tent houses, and this kind of settlement is known as temporary settlement because they shift from one place to another. Settlement can be rural and urban. Now, what's rural settlement? People who live in villages. They live in rural settlement. And in rural settlement, living standard of people is not high. Here, people are engaged in different kinds of occupation. Agriculture is the main occupation of the people in rural areas. And they are also engaged in other kinds of occupations such as forestry, fishing, craft work, etc. Next is urban settlement. To live in cities, we people live in urban settlement. In urban areas, living standard of people is high and people enjoy various facilities in urban areas. And people are engaged in different kinds of occupation in urban settlement. They are doing different kinds of jobs, they are running business and factories, etc. These days, you know, students, people of rural areas are preferring to move towards urban areas for the higher education of their children. Because in rural areas, there are no higher secondary schools. So people prefer to move towards urban areas to get medical facilities or for better educational facilities. People try to move towards urban areas. And urban areas are becoming crowded day by day. So next is, in this chapter you have read about transportation. Uh, Transportation to carry people and goods from one place to another is known as transportation. And there are different means of transportation: roadways, railways, waterways, and airways. Now let's begin with roadways. It is the most common means of transport. It is useful to cover short distances. It provides door-to-door services. And next is railways. It is useful to cover long distances. It is useful to carry heavy goods over long distances. Railways is the comfortable means of transport. If we people have to go to far off place, then we prefer to go by railways, not by roadways, because I have told you railways are comfortable as compared to roadways. Next is waterways. It is the cheapest and slowest means of transport. It is useful to carry heavy goods over long distances, sometimes to other countries also. And it is of two types: inland waterways and sea routes. Inland waterways is useful to carry goods and people within the country, and sea routes are used to carry people and goods to other countries. Next is Airways. Airways is the fastest means of transport, and it is useful to cover long distances within few hours. It is expensive also, and people prefer to go to far off places through airways, to other countries through airways. But it is not affordable by all, because I have told you it is expensive means of transport. It is useful during the time of natural calamities also, because it carry goods such as medicines, food, clothes to the flood prone areas. In this chapter, you will also read about communication. Now, what's communication? Process of sending and receiving messages to the people is known as communication. It is of two types, personal and mass. Through personal means of communication, we can send messages to our friends and relatives. For example, if your relative is living in far off place or other country, you can use telephone or mobile phone to talk with him or her. Or we can write a letter, we can send a letter. So these are the personal means of communication. Now next is mass communication. Through this, we can send messages to large number of the people of the society, such as newspapers and television, radio, magazines. Television help us to know about the whole world. Through television, we can know about the events which are happening in the other countries. So by sitting at home, television help us to know about the events that are happening in other parts of the world. With these means, we are becoming the member of the global world. Our world has shrunk now only because of these means of transportation or communication. So it's only because of the these means of communication, you people are studying at home or attending your online classes these days, because there is lots of development took place in this field, and it's only because of this I am sending tutorials to large number of students only with the help of this communication. So students, learn the question answers of this chapter, as I have sent you two tutorials before and today I have revised also. So please now learn the question answers as your exams are approaching, and also take care of your health. Avoid to eat outside and take care, follow the proper precautions and stay home, stay safe. And thank you for listening. Have a nice day.